Good afternoon. I'm Stephanie Walker, Chair of the North Carolina's Realtors William C. Bass Leadership Academy. And while I always say it gives me great pleasure and pride to report that the North Carolina Realtors Leadership Academy has completed a successful year, this year is different. This year, I come to you with enormous pride, admiration, and a heartfelt thank you to the 15th Leadership Academy class, the class of 2020 and 21. I'd like to offer a huge thank you to all of our commissioners for offering your time and guidance, serving alongside me with the first ever 2-year, almost completely virtual class were Cindy Chandler, Randall Blankenship, Amy Hedgecock, Michael Harrell, and Marvette Artis. A special thanks to Randall, who has completed his term. Randall, we really appreciate the time and commitment that you shared with us. I'm also excited to announce that Connie Corey has been appointed as our new commissioner. Thanks, Connie, for accepting the appointment, and we welcome you. I'd also can't even begin to offer enough thank yous to Caitlin Thompson. We could not have better support from NCR. Caitlin is amazing and always goes above and beyond the call of duty. We can't thank her enough. To the class, thank you for welcoming us into your class. As you all learned and grew over the past 22 months, we did too. You began your journey in December of 2019 when no one could have imagined we would be entering a global pandemic. We didn't even know that could exist outside of books or movies. You signed on and expected to graduate in the fall of 2020. In March of 2020, the world changed, and the schedule we had so carefully planned and you had committed to was no longer possible. At first, we thought just a couple of weeks of lockdown, the virus will be contained, and we can reschedule here and there and move on. We quickly realized that would not be the case. We met and started setting up an entirely different schedule, canceled trips and in-person retreats, and tried to figure out how to deliver a great experience in a virtual world. Your willingness to work with us, maintain your commitment, and engage your flexibility did not go unnoticed. Together, we discovered the value of being flexible, the value of finding a way to make things work. We will be better because of you. The Leadership Academy will be better because of you. Before we recognize the graduates, I'd like to ask 2 members of the class to share a little bit about their experience. I'd like to welcome Kim Perkins and Kathy Robertson.
Hello, everyone. Kathy and I are both truly honored to be speaking on behalf of our classmates. We all have different reasons for applying. There's something to be said when you see the camaraderie of former graduates. The first date meeting I went to, one of my friends, a 2017 graduate, had invited me to their table for dinner. Little did I know how very impactful that small gesture of kindness would change me. They treated me like I was one of them, like I had been friends with them forever. I had someone from another class that treated me the same way. I had a friend that was a graduate that told me I should apply. I really had put it off and had no idea if I wanted to do it. Trust me, she was not going to take no for an answer, and I finally said yes. It was her push and the former graduates that showed me how much I wanted to be in that elite group of leaders. I can tell you it was a life-changing experience. If you have ever considered applying for the William C. Bass Leadership Academy, I highly encourage you to do so. If you have never considered it, but someone has asked you to apply, just do it. They see something great in you.
Kim is right. It's an honor to speak to you today on behalf of our class. My journey through the Academy, although longer than originally planned, has been an incredible experience. When I first was encouraged to apply, I was hesitant. Having been part of many cohorts in the past, I wondered if this would be really a good use of my time. Today, I can say without hesitation that it is. Not only was the training and education superior, the friendships that have been cultivated are priceless. Our class has celebrated many milestones during our time together, and we even gained a 13th member midway through our first year. If you are contemplating a leadership role within our industry, let me assure you that this academy will equip you with the confidence, knowledge, and skills to become a leader among leaders.
Our year started out very similar to a lot of the past classes. We had our first retreat in Greensboro, where we did some team building and learned about ourselves. We did the Myers-Briggs personality test. Boy, did I learn about myself. We learned about other personalities and where they get their energy from. We learned a lot about each of our classmates. The exercises we did exposed us and taught us about each other. We came there as strangers, but left as friends. I personally tried something I learned at home. My husband is definitely a spontaneous, go with the flow person. I am not. We were in Raleigh Christmas shopping and we were ready to go back home. He asked about staying the night and celebrating our anniversary. I was like, we didn't plan for that. I don't have anything with me. I was hesitant, but I remembered what we talked about during our retreat. I saw a little spark in his eyes as he was shopping for all the essentials, and he actually had fun. It took everything in me to go with the flow. I have to admit that was one of the best anniversaries we ever had. We learned something valuable in that retreat. It can be applied to every aspect of our lives, but especially our leadership journey. You can be a better leader by learning what makes others spark. You never know something that sparks in others that pushes you outside of your comfort zone. Just maybe the very best thing that has happened.
On our second in-person meeting, which turned out to be our last, was during Vision Quest. Here we experienced 3 high-level sessions, including spokesperson training with Chris Sinclair. At the time, we could not have known how this training would inform us for the challenges that lay ahead. As the country shut down and many realtors faced the possibility of not being considered essential, courts closed, and we were faced with a completely unforeseen market. This training helped many of us as it became necessary to speak on behalf of our clients and industry. It taught us to think on our feet, communicate clearly, and stay on message.
March came, and all of a sudden our world, as we knew it, changed. I was president of the local association, and I saw firsthand how fast our national and state associations shifted. They did a great job in fighting to make our industry essential, as well as providing us with resources to navigate through a pandemic. Our class was all affected differently as we learned this during our virtual chats. We learned to be flexible and patient. I believe these are important factors in being a good leader. If you look at our classmates, you will see some big accomplishments that we are all proud of. It was not easy to be flexible and go with the flow, but we all did it. You have to learn to pivot when things occur. Our commissioners and staff had to go back to the drawing board and figure out how they were going to make a successful program of an in-person, close and personal meeting work on a virtual platform. They took the time to ask for our input and included us in the decision-making process. We were assigned the movie Miracle to watch and discuss. We had a Zoom meeting with CEO of NAR, Bob Goldberg, and NAR President Vince Malta in April. Not even 2 weeks later, we had another Zoom meeting with State CEO Andrea Bushnell and President Maren Brisson-Kuster. We had a Zoom meeting every week that month. In between the meetings with state and national leadership, we discussed Miracle. The remaining time of our years we spent on Zoom meetings with NCR past presidents, book club meetings, state meetings, and national meetings. We were able to speak one-on-one with NAR leadership and also with NCREC. Our experiences and the wealth of knowledge we learned is priceless. This spoke volumes to me about our state leadership and staff. They were able to be flexible and accommodate an ever-changing world.
The project was a collaboration with past leadership classes. We started 2020 with Coins for Caring. Money collected would go back to participating local associations in the form of a grant to assist in NC Realtors Give Back Day service-related projects. Even in a pandemic, we were still able to make huge impacts across the state. We had associations that assisted in Habitat for Humanity restore, as well as build projects. We had realtors that made masks for medical personnel and fellow realtors, and some that donated masks and gloves. There were realtors and associations that helped feed homeless, kids in need, as well as donate to local food banks. Cards were written to the participants and patients at Duke to provide cheer. Donations were made to military missions. $200,000 was used to help support North Carolinians struggling with rent and mortgage during COVID. NC Realtors donated $15,000 to the wildfire disaster relief on the West Coast. Even in a pandemic, we made an impact.
We wanted to address one final very important issue. We know that for several years, there has been talk about who the best class is. Every class seems to think they are the best class ever. Kathy, what do you think?
Well, I certainly don't consider us the remedial class, as someone has referred to us. You don't keep a class for 2 years unless they really are the best class ever. Actions speak louder than words. And speaking of words, now you're going to hear a few of the words that our fellow classmates would use to describe their year in the William C. Bass Leadership Academy.
Perseverance.
Endurance.
Service.
Resilience.
Pivotal.
Camaraderie.
Empowerment.
Inspirational.
Vision.
Thought-provoking.
In December of 2019, 12 realtors, diverse in age, career, and experience, were selected to form the class of 2021. They came together as strangers, and over the course of 2 years, they've worked through team building exercises, identified their leadership strengths, improved their communication techniques, and sharpened their awareness of what it means to be a positive leader within their business, their community, and their associations. They began their experience with 2 days of team building. By the end of the first retreat, each member had developed 11 new lifetime friendships. They learned about each other, how to appreciate the differences each one brings to a team, and how to work with others who are maybe not like them. They learned, they laughed, they thought, they played. There might have been a tear or two. We've celebrated a new marriage, the miracle of a baby, and the sorrow of loss. They had experiences with instructors who left lasting impressions on each of them, and they completed this portion of their leadership journey. Through this program, these 12 individuals have formed personal bonds that will remain strong for years to come, and they've emerged as a close-knit group who know they're capable of great things and know they now have a strong support system statewide. Our local, state, and national associations will continue to remain strong as we continue to embrace those who choose to be involved, make a difference, and become the visionaries of tomorrow. So on behalf of the North Carolina Realtors, William C. Bass Leadership Academy Commissioners, congratulations. Well done. I personally look forward to witnessing your many successes and achievements. I'd now like to call the graduates of the 2020-2021 North Carolina Realtors William C. Bass Leadership Academy. Olita Boone, Johnston County Association of Realtors. Sophia Crisp, Greensboro Regional Realtors Association. Magda Asola, Canopy Realtor Association. Stephanie Estrada, Land of the Sky Association of Realtors. Jim Logan, Winston-Salem Regional Realtors Association. Kim Perkins, Jacksonville Board of Realtors. DeJane Kerr, Raleigh Regional Association of Realtors. Nikki Pratt Nunley, Canopy Realtor Association. Kathy Robertson, Winston-Salem Regional Realtors Association. Kurt Rogerson, Carteret County Association of Realtors. Charles Umstead, Raleigh Regional Association of Realtors. And David Zeitz, Longleaf Pine Realtors. Congratulations to you all. A job well done. Thank you.